Welcome back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Come on in and sit a while. We're going to do an episode about small business. The Fox Robbins Business Show is all about small business and trying to help you reach or consider and reach your very best business ideas. And I'm the co-host, Bill Fox. The other co-host, though, is he's vibrating. He's cordless, and he is intoxicating. He's Coach Robbins.
Hey, this is that intoxicating word again. Hey, I'm starting to like that one. I'm vibrating? Really?
The Coach and I, we're going to talk about measuring your business plan. I mean, this is assuming that you have one, and hoping that you have one.
Oh God, I hope.
And whether doesn't matter. Are you simply thinking about or in a formative startup stage on a business? Are you buying, acquiring or buying and taking over an existing business? Are you getting into a franchise situation or you're starting up from scratch? It really doesn't matter. Plan. But if you have a plan, how often is it, Coach, that plans, get drawn up and then shoved in a file or a box or back on the shelf? And
all too often, somebody will do the work to put together a business plan, present it to a lender, get their loan, and then it goes into a desk drawer and it's never looked at again. And that is a huge mistake, because to me, a business plan is a living, breathing document. It's your roadmap to success. It's something you don't follow it religiously, but you planned on going somewhere with your business, strategically, financially, whatever it is. But remember, a plan is a guess about the future, and as we'll get into, it's probably not exactly what's going to happen, but that's okay, because you can look at it and make adjustments, pivot, as we say, along the way.
What you just brought up on our first PowerPoint, this is the devil of it, and this is what you have to help people with, is that plans are wrong.
Right.
But vital.
Yeah, when you say wrong, that's not what's going to happen. This is what the plan is. This is what we think the future is going to look like. This is what we hope to accomplish. This is how we hope to accomplish it. Mm-hmm. It's probably not going to happen, okay, that way. But that's okay. It's still a guide. And I've often told the story of in Alice in Wonderland, Mr. Lewis Carroll, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Lewis Carroll.
Alice is walking down the road and comes to a fork in the road, and she doesn't know which way to go. And all of a sudden, in the tree appears the Cheshire Cat. And Alice says to the cat, "Where do these two roads go?" And the cat said, "Well, where do you want to go?" And Alice says, "I don't really care." And the cat says, "Doesn't matter which road you take then."
Either one.
So your business plan is a path, hopefully, to success, how you're defining success and how you're going to get there. Well, if you don't have that, then you just might go to the wrong road, which is called failure, right? And you don't want to do that, that's for sure.
Planning projections often miss the mark.
Yeah, they're projections, they're a future. We think this is going to happen.
One clever person a long time ago said, you draw up a plan. Well, somehow that plan wasn't passed out.
Yeah.
Copies weren't passed out to your competitors and the world at large.
Or your customers.
So they're not necessarily singing off the same song sheet that you are.
Right, yeah, they're not,
As if you need to be told that,
yeah, right.
But face up to facts.
You know the old expression, fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
Right.
So planning projections may miss the mark, may or may not.
They probably will.
Those who plan can easily figure on making many mid-course corrections.
Constantly. That is exactly the point. If I'm driving my ship and I'm headed towards a bearing of 090, and then I see I've veered off here to the south too far because the wind blew me. I was still going 090, but now I'm off course.
Yeah.
Now I've got to make a correction to correct for the wind, and maybe go along at 060 to get back on track, and then make another correction once I'm back on track to stay on track because 090 didn't work.
And Mother
It's
Nature
a
didn't
guide.
read your plan.
Yeah, she didn't read the plan, nor did she care.
So, to those who are watching this episode, you say, well, is drawing up a plan a waste of time?
Absolutely not. It's a good educational device for you you can learn so much. Some people will come to me and say, who can I hire to do my plan? I've never done a plan. Well, first of all, I say I've done hundreds, if not over 1,000, and I can help you. That's one of the things I'll be happy to help you do, but you're going to do it. Well, no, I want to hire somebody to do it. Tell you what, tomorrow morning you'll see the person you're going to hire. Yeah, you'll be brushing his teeth and looking in the mirror. That's the person that has to write the plan, because that's the person that's going to be educated, because that's the person that's running your business, and that's the person that needs to understand the plan, write the plan, and know how to use the plan to make course corrections.
Right. It's and again, as for the idea of planning, what you just said, so it should sink in. The Alice in Wonderland, anecdote, but if it's an old saying coined long ago by somebody else. If you don't know where you're going, well, any road will take you.
Exactly.
And by the way, why bother with going to the local convenience store and getting a road map? I mean, it doesn't, if you don't where
You don't
you're going,
take it out and use it.
I mean, who cares?
Well, of course, we don't do that anymore because we've got, the mobile apps, right? But we used to go, and when I was on the road as a salesman, young salesman, I had books of maps. And as I traveled around other places in New England doing my job, I would, refer to those maps and say, here's how I get to this customer or whatever. And of course, today we have, the internet and, Google Maps and everything to get us there, but it's telling us where to go, quite frankly.
It also tells you where you came from,
Exactly.
which is helpful.
Yeah.
So we want you to not only have a plan, but pull it down, pull it out of the file or off the shelf, or pull it out and take a look at it, periodically.
Absolutely.
That depends on the business circumstance, and that could be monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, whatever. I mean, it depends on the business. And your advice, what you're advising?
Well, it's every month. In my opinion, you should be, you got to get your financial statements every month. You got to get your P&L or your income statement. You got to get, have I mentioned the importance of cash flow in previous shows?
A few times.
Yeah, that I do weekly. But, figure out what happened to the cash last month and figure out what the profitability of the business and, of course, the balance sheet, and compare that to the plan. Well, I wrote a plan when I bought a business, my first business I actually bought. I started one before that, but I bought a business and it was doing $1.3 million. And my plan that I gave to my lender showed that I expected to increase sales by 20% and do maybe $1.6 million. Well, guess what? I did 2.4. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was in just as much trouble because I was being so successful, because I didn't plan on, that much in sales and new inventory and new receivables.
You can't afford the success.
I couldn't afford the success, quite frankly. And of course, I redid the plan, got back to the bank and redid my loan and continued to grow the company to $22 million. But without a plan, I wouldn't have known what was going on.
You pull out the plan, start looking for the greatest differences.
Look for the
between
numbers,
plan
yeah.
and reality.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And look where expenditures are tied to sales. How are they tied to sales, and in what way, right? And but also look for bright spots. I mean, things that are going well or going either according to plan or better, like sales 2.4 million instead of 1.4 million, you know, fine, let's look at that. And
But we need a plan for that too, because, you know, we're gonna hit a wall someplace along the line, you know, doing that.
But you also want to know, you're looking at that plan, you also want to know, why did sales come in at 2.4 million instead of 1.4? I mean, what's going on here?
I took on this particular line, and that really drove sales in other areas, and I hired a new salesman who was doing a great job, and I was out on the road because those things I did.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, these things are why we're going so good. We'll keep doing those things.
Right.
Right? Or this thing didn't go well. Well, don't do that. Okay.
And
That's the old Henny Youngman joke, you know, the one where he's playing his violin.
yeah.
He said, what's my doctor? I said, Doc, it hurts when I do this. Doctor said, don't do that.
Stop doing this.
Stop doing that and it won't hurt.
If you, we're talking as if you have a plan. Suppose there is no plan, you could start by making simple sales and expense projections. I mean, that's one thing.
If nothing else, to compare sales projections to reality every month when you get your financial statements, every month when you get your financial statements, every week when you look at your cash beginning and cash end, you know, these are the things you need to manage. Because, like, you know, the E-Myth, Michael Gerber's book said, too many people start a business because they have some technical skill, but they don't know how to run a business. They don't understand the finance, they don't understand the marketing. They know how to bake pies, they cookies, they know how to write software, they know how to do all this technical stuff, haven't got a clue how to run a business. I don't know how to bake a pie, I don't know how to write software. I did that 30 years ago with zeros and ones and found it boring. All I know how to do is run a business.
But if all you have is a simple projection, I'm going to sell $10,000 in sales this month and 20 next month and 30 the next month. Don't worry if we're saying on this episode, don't worry if that's wrong.
It's probably going to be wrong.
Make it, look at the monthly results and make the corrections.
It's like a basketball player.
As you see the results unfold.
Right, it's like a basketball player. I'm going to run right down the lane and do a layup. And that was my plan. Oh, by the way, as I start down the lane, this 7-footer steps in front of me. Well, you know what? I don't think you want to continue. Maybe you ought to pass the ball off or make you know, drop back and take a shot. You know, you got to pivot. We use a basketball term. Here's what we thought was going to happen. Here's what actually happened. How are we going to pivot our strategy to continue to be successful?
Right. But we also would say, and this is really what you were saying a minute ago, be wrong only 1 month at a time.
Right. Yeah, don't be wrong annually.
Yeah.
There's too much time gone by. You can't make course corrections.
Right.
That's like saying, you know, I'm going to set sail from Chatham and I'm going to Portugal. That means I'm going to head due east. And when I land in Africa, you know, a month or two later, I go, oops, no. Make the course corrections on a regular basis and you'll probably hit your target.
Watch the plan versus results closely. Adjust as you go.
Yep. You're going to make course corrections constantly.
Improve results next time.
That's what will improve results.
And get your grasp on reality.
Right.
It's also, you know, that's going to, this type of review and thinking should get you thinking about very important things, such as the selection of markets or market segments, market niches that
Targets.
You approach.
Yeah.
Intended, you know, the definition of your audience, your products and services, your timing, your pricing, your promotion, all the marketing stuff.
Well, big part of any.
I mean, that should part of it. Just say, oh well, I said I was going to sell 10,000 this month and 20 the next. I didn't. It just changed that number. You should be thinking about other elements of your plan.
Yep. We call STPD. STP, it's not just an oil treatment.
Yeah, oil treatment. Yeah.
Segment the market. Who are my primary target customers? How am I going to position my company and what makes me different so people are going to come give me their money instead of my competitor? All of that stuff is part of your plan. SWOT analysis, the strengths I have here, the weaknesses I have with my company, the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition, the opportunities I see in the marketplace, the threats I see coming from the competition in the marketplace, right? All of these things are part of a business plan that a lot of people just say, oh, I'm going to start a business. They don't think of any of these things. And that's why so many people fail.
And the reason for planning.
Right.
If results have been, sales and profitability and cash flow and results are going well, fine. If things are not, making those midterm or mid-course corrections. Results improve, go back up. You should be asking yourself, how do I apply what I've learned? I should have learned something. What did I learn?
See, the learn is the important thing. That's the best verb, because that's what you're doing. You're learning all the time,
Right. See the signs that you're getting now that actual results are occurring to you.
Yeah.
Are coming. Results are coming at you. What are the signs?
Those are facts.
And learn to anticipate better.
Yeah. Look around corners, we call it.
And take action. You said, stop playing the. I mean, this hurts your elbow.
Don't do it.
Stop doing it.
Yeah, play the piano instead.
And this is a point that you've made before. You've made that today, and you've made it so many times before. Plans may be a written plan may be wrong, but the planning, the act of planning, is essential.
Well, they asked Eisenhower long after D-Day, because of the next expression that is in there: no battle plan ever survived the first encounter with the enemy. That's up here somewhere. Right. Well, they asked Eisenhower, you spent an inordinate amount of time, effort, high-level executives, generals, I should say. You spent months and months, years planning D-Day, and yet when you hit the beach, everything changed. It wasn't that a waste? Absolutely not. He said it's not about the plan. It's about the planning that's important, and that's a great statement. It's what we learned, because we knew what we had to do when we hit the beach and things didn't go the way they were planned to happen. We knew what to do, how to pivot.
Right. That's right. The battle plan doesn't survive even the first day.
Right.
We keep using that. That's such a useful, a helpful analogy with Eisenhower and the Normandy thing.
Yeah. I think that expression actually.
I mean, I know that's a long time ago, but it's such a gigantic idea that, if for no other reason, I mean, if for no other reason, when they came ashore, they landed at the wrong place.
Yeah.
I mean.
Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. The best way to put it is, it's very simple as a way to put it. It's not about the plan.
Yeah.
It's about the planning. It's about the verb, not the noun.
Right.
Okay? Everything is important because you are doing the planning, and this is why you've got to do it yourself. You can't hire some outside agent to do it for you. You've got to have it in here. The important thing is the planning you do, because then again, you know how to execute when things don't are going according to that verb we call the plan.
And that's why we say, following your logic.
Now,
if things are not going according to plan, the question then becomes adjust to what?
Right.
If you have no plan, you can't answer that question.
Right. Where are we going? Who cares?
There's no such thing as adjust if there is no plan.
That's right.
Well, also one thing is, Coach, is here's the thing about it. Planning is a discipline. I mean, it is a mental discipline. Why do we say that? Well, because it's a pain in the neck.
No, it's a pain. It's boring. I'd much rather be baking cookies than sitting writing out a plan. Not me, but really, that's not what I love to do. Okay. It's not my dream. If you don't do the planning, your dream might become a nightmare.
One thing you've got to say is that especially with regard to new business startups, the failure rate is enormous.
It is high.
And the mortality rate on new business is huge.
It's very
It
high.
shouldn't be, actually. I mean,
It could be better,
It
but
could-
it's because people jump. They don't do any planning, they just jump right in and say, this is what I will love to do. Okay, this is my dream, and I've said this thousands of times, right? A nightmare is a dream too.
yeah.
Let's make sure that this looks like it's feasible. Let's sit down and write this thing out, or type it out now on a piece of paper. And let's thank Bill Gates for cut and paste, because it's so simple to make changes as we go. 30 years ago when we wrote a plan, it went into a 3-ring binder this thick,
Yeah.
and it was on loose leaf note paper, and it was triple spaced. Why? Because when we looked at that plan, we also crossed things out and made handwritten notes in between. And when the page got to be a real mess, you know what we did with it? We gave it to somebody to retype it, okay? Well, guess what? Today it's right there on your laptop. It's cut and paste. This isn't working. Cut it out, do this instead. We're going to pivot. We were headed east, but all of a sudden we're way south of our course because of tides and winds. Okay, we now recognize that we're off course. Let's make a course correction. Let's pivot and get back on course.
One thing we get across in this episode is start getting the right attitude. You got to get the right attitude here.
Yeah,
What am I talking about? The attitude is, I need a plan.
you do.
Buy that. Buy into that. Also, that in today's business situation, there is so much help. It's what you were just talking about. One simple thing is, all you need to do is go online on the magic of the internet, and you can shop to your heart's content and find a software package for a business plan.
A business plan guide.
Or a business plan guide and all kinds of stuff. But if you like that or you don't like that, the people ready, waiting, and able to help you, your organization, Mass Small Business Development, Corp.
Well,
That's what you do, is help
we do.
people,
That's what we do.
and without charge. So does SCORE, Service
Right.
Corps Retired Execs. So SCORE, MSP, Small Business Development, and SCORE are both eagerly waiting and anticipating to help you. They're nationwide,
Yeah.
everywhere, and there are other organizations. There is local chambers of commerce. There's
They're there to help you. We've got in New Bedford, in Lowell, also a wonderful organization, E for All. These have mentors and some really capable people that help you, put you through a business planning process and help you write a business plan to execute your business. There's just organizations all over the country.
But it's up to you guys.
Go seek them.
The help is ready, willing, and able to help and guide you, give you assistance. I mean, it's incredible. That was not there even 10, 15, 20 years ago. Today, it's all the help is available. So now the burden is on you.
Right.
Really, I don't want to be a wise guy about it, but I mean, there's so much aid and comfort available. It's amazing.
I find it amazing that I will go to an SBA meeting and there will be 15, 18 people sitting in the room who think they want to start a business.
Yeah.
And I will leave my card and say, I'm right across the street at the chamber every Wednesday, and if you are serious about starting a business, how many of you are? 10 hands will go up. Really serious about starting my business. Call the office, make an appointment, come see me. I'll be happy to work with you and guide you.
Right.
And by the way, SCORE's there every Thursday. I represent the University of Massachusetts Small Business Development Center, SBDCs all over the country.
Yeah.
Come see me. I'll be lucky to get 2 of them that actually take the time to come see me.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
You hear what he's saying.
And it's just, there are a lot of smart people out there, or people like you and I, that maybe we're not that smart, but we've got the scars, we survive, and we know what not to do as well, what to do. And it's in the Bible, Proverbs 15:22, and I paraphrase, without plans, you'll fail. Yeah. But with many guides, helpers, mentors, you've got a very good chance of success.
All right. And, you know, the thing is, if a coach and I make a mistake, we're focused on the plan. Oh, here's the plan. It's not the plan, it's the thinking process.
It's the planning.
That's the discipline part of it, is why it's so beneficial. It's asking going on a track and following a track to work on the business plan. It's asking the right questions.
I tell people all the time, because we work with people in just about every industry, A to Z, right?
A to Z.
I don't know all the answers, but boy, do I have a lot of questions. And if you ask the right questions, then you're probably going to come up with the right answer. That's the key to, and you know, we mentioned business plan guides. The SBA has a wonderful website with a lot of business plan guides, and more than likely,
SBA guys, Small Business Administration. SBA is a federal, our federal assistance from the federal level.
Yep.
Their mission is to promote and aid and abet small business success.
Right.
They're there waiting for you, guys.
They're not going to call you.
I've been around since the 50s and 60s or whatever.
So.
Yep. But asking the right questions,
yep.
The planning process, covering all bases, Coach.
Yeah, right.
Not just, hey, the financial part of the business, essential, but so is any and all, you know, marketing aspects of the business, price, promotion, place, you know, product,
yep.
all that kind of good stuff.
Right.
Administration, you know, customer service. Anyway, you know, there's
human resources.
But just on your own, in your own thinking capacity, you're going to miss topics that you should be addressing.
If you do and you fail, shame on you.
And the discipline of planning is to track you along so that you are asking the right questions and you're covering all bases.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, and not only prepare the plan, but pull that plan out.
Every month at least.
Every month, check it out, measure the results, adjust,
yep.
and proceed forward with confidence.
You bet.
Coach, thank you. And you guys, again, the Fox Robbins Business Show, we upload all shows to YouTube. So they just sit, there's a library for Fox Robbins. Just go to YouTube, and in the search box on the homepage, you know, type in one single word, Fox Robbins, FOXROBBINS, and click and go to the Fox Robbins library of shows. Pick out the ones that pertain or to you or interest you, and watch at your own convenience. If that's 3 a.m.,
have a ball.
Have a ball.
If it's 3 a.m., text me. I'm sometimes up at 3 a.m.
And thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.